June the 14th of 2017. It is here from Vitebsk, Belarus. I will be talking to you. I will give you an update instead about the UN lawyer, and not just yet about Mossad agents, my ex-roommate Ludwig. I don't think this guy is going to be back. He came back yesterday, and my surprise, erratically he acted. He grabbed his bag, he grabbed his things, but he knew what he was doing, boy, and he was out. I would suggest that he met a female, but it's funny because he's got all his clothing in there, still left. Yeah, so this stuff is still here from Ludwig. Okay, all this that you see here is from Ludwig. And I see he's got his stuff here still. There's still stuff from him here. What is this here? I even see jacket things. Let me see something else. Oh, there you go. He even has some money left in there. He's got some money left in there. He really was in a hurry, boy. He just took that, he grabbed that case and he was out. He was out. He's got some clothing here still. He was in a hurry too. But I guess if he's still here somewhere. Yazidis, of which one of the sisters spoke fluent Hebrew, are gone. They disappeared about 3 days ago, I think. Food is still left inside of the fridge. Alright, Yazidis, so-called Yazidis, they have forgotten to eat this here before they left. Some of their stuff. This is actually the stuff not from them. This is the stuff from another individual. That's Mr. Bahram. That's the first guy. That's how it all started here. It was gradually an idea to break me down. So he was the first one used in the process. That's from them. I want to make sure clarify these things. This is from them, definitely from you. See this? And then I don't know what is here. So they forgot to eat that before they left. And you might think they have left in a hurry. I do not deem so. I think they had too much time, on the other hand, left to leave. Okay, they were allowed to leave, and that's something I'm going to still talk to you about. Gone. I understand they're gone. So yeah, I had to change a little bit things. I had to change approach to what the situation, my situation in Belarus, and I'm forced to implement certain changes, strategy towards what is taking place. I did extremely well so far. I did extremely well. Have always managed somehow to avoid what could be, what most definitely was, absolutely without any doubt, was attempt to take me to Israel. There is absolutely no doubt about this. The strategy that I'm going to take therefore is, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the UN lawyer who called me again yesterday in respect to, in parenthesis, employment, job. And as I talk about him, cannot afford myself to start to expose the Belarus state, which is, look, involved against me way more, much more than United Nations alone. Okay, United Nations managed to get Belarus state to collaborate, to cooperate against me, but it's actually the Belarus state that have granted United Nations the situation I'm in, so therefore abuse from the United Nations against me here in Belarus. It's also using the United Nations as an excuse. The Belarus state tried desperately to get me to talk against United Nations only, and somehow not, for me not to see them as for being involved in it. But it's this exact thing that is used, actually attempt. It's exactly this kind of issue that I would go and I would blame, it's UN, that Belarus state would use to get me to Israel. Frankly, I am in Belarus. I'm not in United Nations. I am in Belarus. That's one thing. And another thing is, when you blame one party only, and the other one is even more guilty for what is taking place against you, and that other party is much more influential in Belarus than United Nations, okay? Then bad things happen. Another logic that is of lesser importance, that is not as equivalent as this one, relevant to my situation, is fact that even if you have two parties that collaborated with one another against victim, to collude, obviously to kill one, because if you get me to Israel, this will be the end for me. At any court, a reasonable court, the judge or jury would not go and choose in between, if the two would be even equally guilty, between which one of the two is more guilty. I mean, that's just crazy. And again, I am not in the United Nations. I am in Belarus. And as I go along, that's why is this so important? You will see why is this so, obviously for the reasons that I have stated. As I go along, this is just a little note to the Belarus government. I'm going to go into the spitze, I'm going to go into the top, I'm going to go into the, what they say in Russian, verch, into the top. And as I go into the top, it's going to be more and more pressure that is going to be applied to the top. It's going to get heated. People are going to go. We're going to start with the UN lawyer. Then it's going to be other people that are going to get screwed. And the longer I'm going to go with it, the more people are going to get screwed. Basically, I have so many hours of abuse that I have audio recorded that, and other stuff that I'm going to talk about that I can take on anything. That's why, there are certain strategies that I have used along. I have to swallow a lot of stuff and comply with it and go and rationalize these things. But when I take my course, then it's pretty damn clear where I'm going. So the longer this is going to go, the longer this is going to take. The only way I can be stopped, excuse me, I forgot to finish that issue. The only way I can be really stopped is basically physically. I don't know, that they do something to me, I don't know, the state or something like that, because now this is going to be against state, obviously more than against United Nations. That's about the only way that I can be prevented, that I can be stopped. And the power of the strategy with which United Nations and Belarus government have completely agreed upon. So this is another proof about attempt to get me to Israel. They didn't mind, listen, they did not even mind. The Belarus state knew all along that I'm doing audio recordings, what I'm doing. United Nations knew all along what I'm doing. The idea was to just let me audio record them. These people did not mind. They knew I'm audio recording them. They knew. The point was, the idea was to perform on me so much abuse. And remember when I said the top, the spitze, the Wirch, it's the stuff. The best is going to be saved for the last. I cannot even say now, but when I submit so much of the audio recordings of the proof about what was done to me here within the past month and a half, I'm going to go for the top. Like I said, it's going to get hot. It's going to get hot, and so it's going to be pretty damn interesting. So much stuff that basically they would cluster me. They had their main strategy was to perform so much abuse, which they did not even mind for me to audio record, that they would simply, two ways. One was to disturb me, irritate me, confuse me, all the other stuff that you go through that is going to be, like I said, saved for the top, for the last. That I would completely lost myself. That was one strategy. Another strategy, because they always, you see, the state, the governments, and human rights organizations, these are abusers. The United Nations is a killer. This is the human rights murder, killer of the white people, is what the United Nations is. This is the murderous American Zionist-controlled machinery is what it is. They always play on dots. They anticipate your destinations, the dots. And for every one of those dots that they perform, that they use against one, they anticipate a different kind of outcomes that the victim is going to take. Therefore, the rationality, the way the victim is going to pursue a solution to each of those dots. And dots are actually issues. And so the other way for them to split basically would be to just abuse me, and if the confusion, the irritation, the disturbance of an individual, dementia, would not work. So, you could be proclaimed as paranoid, schizophrenic, lunatic, something like that. Then what we're going to do is we're just going to take you to Israel. And we're going to blame the United Nations for it. Because that was the strategy, was from the very beginning talk about the UN, not the Belarus state. And once you're in Israel, maybe then Netanyahu will get to personally click the delete button from your files. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. You don't have to worry about those audio, video recordings and so on. So this was the main split, the main branch right there on how to get the ultimate solution to my situation here in Belarus, my political application. And then all those dots, as you're about to see, how they have anticipated they would split and so on. That's a completely different issue. It's all matter of priorities for me now. And as I go, by the way, the UN lawyer called me again yesterday. Ludwig was here, Mossad agent Ludwig was here. Apparently I heard from other residents who are also very upset with me yesterday because I did something completely different they have anticipated I'm going to do. So yesterday I posted in the forums, outside of the matrix, if you like, outside of the Facebook. And I got different kind of public, got different kind of attention and so on. And the residents here were very, very unhappy. It was yelling and this and that. They know what I'm doing. I'm going to leave that, it's all audio recorded too. So I'm going to leave that, like I said, there were key audios on my computer and so on. My computer is wired to, like you were able to see on the video, to the internet. They pretty much see exactly what I'm doing, but that's fine. What you don't want to do is you don't want to isolate yourself. You don't want to isolate yourself, blame one party for the all that is even less guilty than the other one, so the other one can just go and clean their hands and get you out of here. Isolate yourself, start to brag about things that have happened to you, that are happening to you, because that's what they want, You don't really have any effect if you're on your own, in the forest talking to yourself. You want public, you want attention before you disappear. Talking to yourself in the forest about what the enemy have done to you, and basically going to the airfield to clean air tracks from the ex-airports with your roommates. That is, I already have said enough about that. And with others would be a really idiotic thing to do. Okay, so it became a matter of priorities for me to attract as much as possible public. It's comical, actually. It's kind of funny, but it was very, very well designed. It was very, very sophisticated. It becomes a matter of priorities, and so you want as much audience, as much public as possible. So if something happens, and you want to cover your ass, you don't want to give anybody, the chance, to blame somebody else for what they're going to do to you. I mean, that would be really, really crazy. So we go back to this matter of priorities. I am going to talk about Ludwig. I'm going to lay down the whole case about him, because you're going to see it's a classic Mossad. It's a classic Mossad. And I cannot, even after I'm going to lay down to you, everything about him, even after I'm going to explain absolutely everything about him, you will still not know the whole thing, and that's the best is always for the last. That's the stuff that is going to be for the last. You guys have no idea, no clue how this was performed, under what kind of circumstances this was performed, and people that were involved in these things knew. There were other parties that knew about these things, other parties, but they did not know, the stuff, the way it really functions, so it will not know. But the way this was performed, it was really funny, comical. Maybe I would even call idiot, ridiculous. But due to such a high amount of things they have implemented, it will be successful for them. So it became a matter of priorities, and before I go to the Ludwig, like I said, he came yesterday to grab his things. I admire him to be still here, and I admire the UN lawyer to give me a call yesterday from Vitebsk. I admire the both of them to be still here. I do. But it's just another proof that the Belarus state covers their ass. Before I go to Ludwig, let's talk about the call that I got yesterday from this UN lawyer who was so desperate. He almost begged me like this, on his knees. Talk about my boss. Talk about my boss. My boss from Minsk. His boss is in shit up to here. Okay? He is up to here. All these bosses, sooner or later, are going to run to one place. There is such a place. I'm sure you can figure out, you can guess where that is. But why would I go, why would I go, for the small birdie, when I can get the whole thing. Can't help myself but to remind myself of Vladimir the Chai. In case you know this individual, he was the one who had disclosed nuclear capabilities from Israel. And so it was used, the situation was depicted to the public. I have watched and I have studied how the mainstream media, how they have depicted his situation, post-afterwards situation. It was actually really was horrific what they have done to him, what the guy have gone through, in Israel. I mean, how he was in solitary confinement and stuff like that. It was a butchery of individual, but the way it was depicted to the public, it was in a humorous way, like honey trap in a humorous way, and that's how it's properly done. It's really effective. They screw individual like this and depict the case to the public, and probably even to, like I said, other people that know about these things, as in a humorous way, in a funny way. It's really nothing funny about the total tragedy, about the death of the person. Really is not. Classic Mossad. Israel psychologically is very, its operations when they act against international activists, okay, in this case, I'm a human rights activist for the white people, are very, very sophisticated. And the last thing you want when you act as a government that you will perform such action is, you don't want to depict yourself like, like a violent, you want to look smart, sophisticated, and of course even funny. That is Mossad, folks. Psychology of Mossad. When you imply MK Ultra terror, psychology that is later on used to imply certain situations, certain dots that you have created for the individual who will be forced to follow that path, or I should say pattern. When you depict him, the reality is funny. Basically, the abuse, you actually manage an individual to confuse individual abuse, the reality abuse with comic things. That's so classical Mossad, Central Intelligence Agency. Exactly recipe, the psychology. It's basically how that's done. Believe me, I know about these things more than psychiatrists and psychologists do. I grew up with psychologists since age 8, 9 is when I became first acquainted with psychology. And when you do stuff like this, the possibilities to deal with an individual, even publicly, are unlimited. You can perform on him whatever the hell you want. And you can accomplish no limits to it, okay? So let's go back to a matter of priorities.
Here it is, Vitebsk. If I zoom out a little bit, hopefully it's gonna say at least Vitebsk something. No, it doesn't say, but this is Vitebsk. It really is. It's about 50 kilometers from the Russian border, on the other side of the Belarus. And what I am pointing out right now, basically, let's see, these are the outskirts of Vitebsk here that you see. And the center would be here somewhere. This is the center, what you see here, all this here. Okay, anyhow, I live in one of those outskirts right here. This is the location where I am. And this here is the location where United Nations attorney wanted me to go to. So basically from one outskirt to completely other, the opposite side of the city to the other side of the city, it's outskirt. There are 3 ways to get there. One is to take transfer through Vokzal, that's a main bus station, train station. It's also where minibuses stop and so on. Second way would be to take transfer to commit yourself to this location here, which is known as Frunze 41. Frunze 41 is famous about police station, immigration office. This is the biggest police station in whole Vitebsk. It's giant. These are the headquarters, police headquarters in Vitebsk, and psychologically an individual would have, individual that is meant constantly to visit Frunze 41, the police station, immigration authorities for Vitebsk region, would give one very good psychological opinion that Frunze 81 must be a safe place since police is not too far. At least, that's how I evaluated this whole thing. Now, there is a third way. You could take transfer from here, and the third way will be basically to walk here, probably about 1.5 kilometers or so to get to Prospect Frunze 81. Now let's see what is on this outskirt here, what is going on here in this area. What I see here is a big field here. Big field, nothing, grass. I don't know, maybe this is golf, I don't know what it is. It's damn big. Maybe they grow some corn or something, I don't know what it is. I don't know about people playing golf here in Belarus. They do not, I don't think so. They pretty much do the same thing as I do. They fish a lot. That's what they like to do. So I don't know, but this does look like a field, like an open field. This used to be the airport area before. So, and this exactly is what Prospect Frunze 81 looks like. And from what I see here, it does not appear to me that there are buildings here. I see like an open field again. You can see what chemical plants look like, car factory and so on. I don't really know what this is all about. And next to it, you have another one like this. But to me, this doesn't look like a plant or anything like this. Even if it's not, it's strange to me that you know, this talk about the airport, dark warehouses. If you're afraid, that's like adding crazy factor to individual. You know, you're not afraid. You're not afraid. You're not afraid. And guess later on, yeah, but you were told this is airport, and there are dark places, and you went there anyways, and stuff like that. It's a funny story, and Mossad loves funny stories when those funny stories, the funniest stories take place. So the public laughs not at what is stupidity, but at their own ignorance, because they don't really know what it's all about, what's happening behind the scene. And the victims usually pay high price for it. Obviously, Israel, Mossad wouldn't be able to perform such things if they would act in, you know, in publicly, in Western Hemisphere, like unacceptable way. But they always try to make things cute, funny. They like to involve women, females. And it doesn't matter if me, myself, I was deprived of the women. Since I left, basically since I left Miami, and you're talking about 11 years therefore, that doesn't matter. Those things don't matter. Because as I was told, in Israel, you're going to have plenty of women. So the psychological way to break individual, to mentally break him, to make him change reality even with something fun, while one is tortured, deprived of human dignity, everything, and even ridiculized afterwards, because they own mainstream media, you know, and much more. It's enormous. And there is a lot of things here that play, that everything is indicating that this here was a very serious deal. Maybe it would not take place from here. I don't know what this is. I don't know what is here. I do not know. But not too far from here, like I said, you have a beautiful open fields, big fields. For the airplane, small airplane here, this would not be any problem, any issue to take off. The confirmation, the stupidity information that you would give to an individual that you would commute to such location after you basically are told this was the airport and such stuff, that you're not afraid to work in dark houses at what used to be airport, that you need to clean the air track, airway, runway. That's pretty insane. And that's the kind of stuff I have definitely, immediately as we spoke, disregarded. But I did wanted him to believe that I will appear, because the very next day I started to post the stuff in forums in order to gain public, to get an attention before I would really disappear from here. There was much more other stuff that have happened that very day, and there was much more stuff that have happened prior to that. One of the things that have happened was that the Belarus state basically have declined to accept my political asylum application submitted to them, for which they have demanded from me to write. Demanded for me to write because they knew that I'm gonna lose at least 1 week writing one. You're talking about 45 paragraphs, 44 pages out of my head that I have written for Belarus state as instructed in English language, that became later on rejected by the Vitebsk regional director, Elena Dmitrievna. That very same day on Monday that you're about to hear the recording, however, things changed. And I knew exactly why things changed. They wanted me to talk about United Nations. Because when you keep quiet about the government can perform just about absolutely anything on you. Even more than what they already have performed. There were many other things they have performed I was quiet about. But denying me the right to file for political asylum with claim that is written in English language was enough for me to strike back and just give them out publicly. I got the good backup right there. That very same morning, earlier that day, on Monday, let's see, this was not too long ago. You're talking about June 12, 2017. It was a very funny thing that Elena Dmitrievna changed. At first, I was seated there at the police station. We have an appointment for 11 o'clock. I was seated. It probably waited until, I don't know, maybe 1:30 or so. 12 o'clock, I don't know what time was. Hour and a half. 12:30, therefore. Before they have met me, before they have accepted me. And so the point there is that she was the one who have declined. She was the one who have returned my application to me in my hands. That was printed application. I gave her one that I have posted online and printed application because this is what they have demanded from me. And in front of me that morning, she changed her mind because Slava, who also have declined to help me to assist me with translation of the application, and they have suggested me to go to professional translation agencies that is accredited by the government, that court would therefore accept the translation of my documentation. So they tried to take away from me, financially try to destroy me. They have suggested me to pay 500 euros for the translation of the document. Basically have given me translation agencies about 20 rubles per page. Now you have 44 pages. 20 rubles is 10 euros. You're talking about 480, no less than, 440 euros. 440 euros is about 900 rubles, 450 euros. And at this place that you see here, the salary offered to me would be about, I don't know, 150 euros per month. So you're talking about maybe 3 months of salary if you would eat nothing basically and drink water. It's what this would cost you here in Belarus, and that's what Belarus government have demanded from me. However, that very same day, that same morning, Elena Dmitrievna, Vitebsk immigration regional officer, have all of a sudden changed her mind and took the file back. She made a phone call, and she wanted me to see that she made a phone call after Slava have told her in Russian language how I feel about these things and so on. Okay, so because I have rejected what they have suggested me, it was time to change plan, obviously, and they came up with another plan after everything they have performed on me. And you're talking about month and a half, and you're going to watch many videos about what they have done to me. And there is a stuff additional that I'm going to talk to you about, but this is going to be after I finish with everything. Belarus state government was not as involved as United Nations. No, not at all. They were involved much, much more than United Nations. It's 75% fault from Belarus government for what took place against me, and about 25% from United Nations in the Belarus. But definitely 100% fault what United States of America have done on behalf of Israel against me. In United States of America and across European Union, as well as Canada and Norway. Okay, so that's 100% guilty United Nations. Here in this case, Belarus government tried to use United Nations, which is, in my personal opinion, is just a dead walking corpse, is what it is, just waiting to be kicked out of existence. Use one to literally get me to Israel. So this is what this was all about. Now let's hear the continuation. Before I go on with it, I also want to mention to you that Ludwig, this is beyond crazy. Ludwig apparently already worked there. He knows that place. I don't even know if Ludwig have medical examination yet. I don't think he had one. He played also crazy all along. Ludwig pretended himself to be completely crazy. So how he got his medical examination, if he got one, I do not know. I have also not seen one after I have, published about Hebrew-speaking Yazidis. I have not seen Ludwig. One time I have seen him ever since. He came in and out, grabbed nervously his stuff, and he was out. I don't know, maybe Ludwig lives now here in this warehouse. They suggest me that he's got his girlfriend or whatever, but his whereabouts are very, very doubtful. Now, who knows where Ludwig is, what is happening with the Ludwig, and that I would go with a roommate like this. And you're talking about residents here. Slava also will mention, you're going to hear that another resident here. I'm really not impressed with these people here. I deemed these people were here for completely other reasons. Many of them already disappeared since I arrived. Many of them tried to get from me statements that would give United Nations fundaments, grounds, basis to act against Belarus people, against Russian people. There were all kinds of gimmicks involved in it. You're going to hear the recordings, how they try to, all kinds of stuff they try to do. All kinds of stuff they tried to do, and they damaged, and they million things have happened here. And this was the idea. The idea was to make me lose time, to document, lose time, abuse, maybe say something stupid that would give them credentials to, just discredit me, maybe just say that I'm paranoid or something like that without proofs. You can easily irritate, disturb individual. You can challenge, you can bully individual into a situation that he's going to have, that is going to produce in him violent reaction, and you can use that for claim against him in million ways. This is something I already have talked about. Individual that is exposed to environment like this can do many, many things. Keep in mind, here everything is written in Cyrillic. Russian people do understand me quite well, I would say. The thing, however, is that oftentimes they don't want to understand me, and I understand them. They have their rights. I don't say anything about people, their views. In Hungary, I think you should learn Hungarian, and I think in Belarus or Russia, you should learn Russian if you want to be there. These are the things that everybody should strive toward to. So I'm not going to criticize people. People are more than beautiful here. Lovely people. But the government is really in my ass. They financially have damaged me. The stuff that I'm going to talk about is beyond believable. And just maliciously damage on every step of the way. Not United Nations. 75% of what took place here took place against me on behalf of Belarus government. Now, if I would say, like, you're going to see in continuation, like he have suggested me, United Nations, UNHCR wants to know and this and that, and he is not trying to tell me that's his boss maybe and so on. I think I really would disappear. And nobody would ever know anything about what really took place, this and that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
For what?
Excuse me one.
Hi. Very good, thank you. How are you?
Not bad. Bastian,
Tell me.
I want to tell you about my question is linked with work.
Yeah? Good. Yeah. I got medical examination done now, you see?
Already, that?
Yeah, it's
So
complete
you
now.
left it?
Well, I gave it to
You left it?
Petrona. Petrona,
Okay.
downstairs.
Yeah, the chief was it.
Yeah.
So what about work? You still don't want to work?
Oh,
Don't have opportunity, don't have opportunity.
Yeah, I never ever was, decided that I don't want to work, but exactly the opposite. I always want to work.
Yeah,
That
but
is
you don't
my
have
idea.
opportunity to work.
Well, I just, got the medical examination done on Friday. I mean, and today, as you know, is Monday.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I mean, without medical examination, it cannot work.
of course.
Yeah.
But so my question is,
Yes.
willing you work?
If I am willing to work,
Yeah.
oh, yes, of course.
I mean,
I
so
love it.
the question from UNHCR
From the UNICEF.
Yeah,
Okay.
UNHCR.
UNHCR.
Yeah.
Yes.
UN agency
United Nations
for
Human Rights
it.
Commission.
Yeah.
Tell me, sir.
So what about work? Would you like to work in that factory?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Which factory? I mean,
Last Monday,
you mean where
escorted-
the crown is working or where?
no. I escorted 6 persons
Uh-huh.
to
Yeah, and I did not go. I did not go. I did not go because I had the medical examination. Had got to be done.
So
Completed.
the factory is providing you a position like a loader, like sorter man.
Yeah, please.
So you would like to work.
Yes, please.
So should I ask the owner of this factory?
Yeah, please.
Like
Yes.
who?
I'm sorry.
Like who? Loader?
Who the owner is? I don't know.
No. Like who? What is position would you like to work? They
I don't know.
They
So-
have loaders, vacancies of loader.
I don't know. Maybe I can go
Sort
and see
man.
it. What I would like to get is job that is not going to cause problems to the owner, to the people, to other people, and something that I can do, of course,
This one in Gun, Ludvikas.
Ludvikas.
Yeah,
Who is the Ludvikas?
Lithuanian guy.
Lithuanian Ludvig. Yes.
Ludvikas.
Ludvikas. Okay.
His first name.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
he knows the place where, so maybe you,
No,
If
maybe
you-
not. You can just write me down the address and we're gonna go to that. Please. Oh, I have a pen and I don't have,
And you can send,
yeah. I don't have anything to do with anybody, I mean, here. I mean, you got to do with anybody, anything, I mean.
but lubricants can show you on location.
For what? I mean, show me what? That's why we have the telephone, we have computers, we have pencils, and we can write down the information. and you can
In
take
English,
it.
yes?
No, you can just write me down with the high Cyrillic letters. I can read very well. Low Cyrillic, I don't know. I don't know low Cyrillic yet. So. But high Cyrillic is already fine. I can do that.
How to say recycling?
Recycling.
Or
Recycling, no, I don't know in English how, I mean in Russian how you say it, I mean. Oh, this is very good. Yeah, but this is his name, and
Yeah.
what I really need is the address. Well, address is his name. That's written here, Sergey, Your, Galikun, Galikui? No, I don't know who
Галыкин.
Galikin.
Галы.
Galikin.
Галыкин.
Galukin.
Лыкин. Лыкин.
Galukin. That's a Frunze 81. No,
The same.
like a police station.
Yeah,
The same. So it's on the other side of the town. It's going to take a while to get there, though. You don't have anything closer by here? I mean, in this area here?
Close.
Yeah, nearby here. This is
Close.
completely on the other side of the town. I mean,
Closer. He don't have.
very far.
Not so far. It's forest. He has a forest territory.
Forest territory.
Forest. Far away from here.
Okay.
From in Russian and in it.
In Russian?
Yeah.
But this is in Russian, slower. This is in Russian.
His name in Russian. But the address in
Sergei Galukin, you're gonna say. And it's Frunze 81, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And what should I do? Go tomorrow there? Start the work there?
As you wish. You can.
Yes, I do.
I'm you wish.
Of course.
So should I tell to? Should I pass this information to you that you wish
To
to
whom?
unit sir?
Unit CR.
Yeah.
I go tomorrow over there,
Okay.
and if he gives me the job, then I'll take the job. What can I say? I don't think you should.
They said that
Yeah?
to Ludwig.
They said to Ludwig.
Yeah. That. But sorry
Thank you very much.
that I
Oh, what, sorry. But
But,
you gave me twice the address.
yeah. In Russian and in English.
So, thank you.
Look, Ludwig has visited this plant,
Yeah?
and the owner said to me
Ah.
that it depends how many people
Can work. Yeah.
that want to work.
Want to work.
It depends how many people want to work. So the plant is processing the garbage.
Uh-huh.
So, but they need in new place for doing their work. I mean, they Lucas can tell you or someone else who or Chechenian guy Ruslan also visited with me. With a new place for work, and it's in the opposite side of the city.
Yes, I
and,
know.
and it's a big hangar, place where fixing the planes in transport planes.
Big and dark place where they fix the plane.
Yeah.
Is there an airport close by too?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was
It was.
military
Sometimes can still be
for
used
transport aviation.
for.
Air Force, really.
Yeah, I believe you.
Yeah, and so they need to clean this territory, wash and paint.
We're gonna clean this. It's gonna be like new.
Yeah. So you want work?
Yes.
Okay.
I love to work.
And the last one, soon will be cherry. You can taste. Okay, that's fine. So I will tell to install it.
No cherries in Israel. Take care now. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Have a nice day.
You too.